Podcast. Welcome to the GRG Podcast.
Welcome to the GRG Podcast, where you get all the latest gaming news, hot topics, and more. With guest Triple Cup Chuck, Live Wires Gaming, 108 Dragons TV, Bloody Knuckles, Operations Op 100, live, and your host K Mega 405. The GRG Podcast
starts right now.
His man,
I do.
That's the 108. That's the 100.
We here.
That's the Glee
we
Club.
Here. And the Glee Club. Listen to this, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the GRG Podcast. We are doing it live, ladies and gentlemen. We are doing it live. Thank you so much for being here, hanging out with us. This is, to me, I don't know what it is about tonight's show. Don't know what it is, but it feels like it's a special one. Feels like it's one of those ones. And I don't know. We just got to see. But there's plenty to talk about. And I think a couple of these topics is going to take us to the home run stretch. So what I'm going to do, something that I kind of don't do, but I'm going to have to bring one of these topics in a little bit early. We're going to hit two topics, knock them out, and then we're going to get to one of the big ones. Because I think that's what the people want to hear the most. But regardless of that, man, thank you guys for hanging out with us. Share it out, send it out. Thank you out there for watching us right now, checking us out, and man, we'll just get this show started. So, man, let's start off with talking and introducing the bums. Right off the bat, we're gonna start off with the man that you was hearing over there throwing shade, my man. 108 Dragons TV. What's going on with you, bro?
What's good? Life is going on, baby. Back with another GRG podcast. Always happy to be here. Always happy to mingle with my people in the chat and my brothers at hand that we talk about this round table. That's how we do it here. I'm excited about tonight's topics. Let's get it.
Yes, no doubt, no doubt, no doubt, no doubt. All right, and then moving on to the other bum. Man, right here we're gonna go straight up to Bloody Knuckles, man. It's been the Lemon and Knuckles mixer party going on, man. Y'all been over there streaming, doing all types of stuff, man. What games have y'all been playing, and what's going on with you, Bloody?
Ah, man, you know me, I'm just grinding out here in these mixer streets, trying to get out my streaming. I be streaming 5 times a week, you know how I do. But yeah, it's been me and Lemon rocking it hard because we've been going in on that Gears 5 co-op campaign. You know, Op's there when he can, but you know, being out in Florida with that old people internet, you know, it's just 2 antennas mixed up to a car battery. They ain't really getting that good shit. So he needs to.
Everybody had an issue this time, but you want to go that way? I'll go ahead, bro. Go on ahead.
Hey, man, that I just say it. All right, listen here. The one time you caught up doing paperwork in the office, one time. How many times did you get dropped last week and within the span of like 5 minutes?
Say what it is.
Anytime.
He throwing Hail Marys in the Super Bowl game down by 8. Facts.
Yeah. He would literally join only to get kicked again. So I mean, we can't really count on him being our jack player when as soon as he jumps in to do something, he thaws out. So. But you know, other than that, I've just been doing my thing, been grinding hard, been making connections. You know, of course, the big thing is next week I will be in New York City with the big brother Prometheus, rocking out at New York City Comic-Con. So you know, other than that, you know, just be gaming and streaming. You know, keeping it real like a real gamer does.
Nice. That's exactly what we like to hear. Keeping it real like a real gamer should. Oh, by the way, I swear to God, you and Lemon would make a fantastic like duo. Like y'all could like do some kind that would
twins.
Yeah. Like that would be great. Like y'all could do little like 15-minute skits, kind of like how they do on like little shows like they do on Cartoon Network. And y'all do like 15 minutes of just doing wild shit together. I swear to God, it'd be a hit. You know, because y'all are so opposite from each other. But of course, y'all the brothers of GRG. So again, it would be classic. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
you know, it's funny you say that. We opposites in certain aspects, but at the same time, we very much similar. That's why he's my big brother. I was like, I think everyone here is my big brother. Yeah, but
type of games.
Yeah,
but it would definitely get the Abbott and Costello working. Definitely, let's get it.
Because that's exactly what it is. Somebody wearing Timbos, the other person wearing high heels. It's crazy.
Anyway, hey, don't be dissing the heels, bro. Don't be dissing it.
Okay, Satan rings, and somebody wearing a Cuban link. I guess it's crazy as hell, but that's just what it is here, man. All right, yeah. Well, hey, man, this is man. The emojis is out. We see the mighty Dolphins have been summoned, and you have got him. He is here.
I would say he was here early.
I know. Donald Trump, man. Donald Trump got a lot of things going on. He got to get off his chest tonight. Donald Trump has got a lot of stuff to talk about. Yeah, man. We got a lot of things going on, man. Look, here, you don't have anybody that's a whistleblower around here, bro. So you just don't have to worry about that. You just got to say what you got to say, and then we'll move around. So what's up with you, bro? What's happening? What you been gaming on live?
Damn. Well, I've been trying to play LA Noire, man. I forgot how slow that game is. That shit done put me to sleep like 3 times this week, yo. Shit put me in the bed, tuck me in and everything. I'm like, oh shit.
I gotta worry. Are you sure you're not just a sleepy man getting that old age? Because every time you play a game, you talk about how you fall asleep.
I mean, it'd be that too, man. Because look, man, I gotta work all day, and I gotta, you know. I got to deal with my daughter, so I don't really play until like damn near 11 o'clock. Still got to watch the news, try to catch up some shows with my wife. I mean, so this is the only time I really be, you know, on this early doing anything like this. Other times I just game sporadically, but yeah, man, it's not bad, man. I went for a nice little walk with the little one. That's why I'm on now, because her ass got worn out. I was like, we're gonna do these hills, girl. Come on. We're gonna do these hills.
All right, man. Taking little Bianca out there and making her work. That's what I'm talking about. All right, man. Moving on, man. 100 in the house. What's going on with you, man? Man, before while we get the introductions going, finished up, man, I'm gonna have you say some kind words about a fellow YouTuber that's out there in the streets. But for right now, man, what's going on with you? How you doing, 100?
Oh man, I'm just sitting here chilling, man. sitting back, you know what I'm saying? Trying to stay focused and everything, but this is always gonna be 100. You already know who I am. I'm the notorious one. You know what I'm saying? I'm the one that you can make memes about, you can lie about, you can cheat about. But hey, you better watch out for your girl because she might be next.
All right. Okay. I mean, you know what I'm saying? You not the whistleblower. You the. I ain't gonna do it. All right. So, last but not least, man, we go
into like a lady blower.
Yeah, man. That Tom Selleck. I got to get, man. Me and Lemon need to talk, man, because I forgot about that thing I need, so I can try to. I got to have that Tom Selleck music and a couple other things. Anyway,
I got you, son. I got you. I just didn't get the other thing. I can't get my hands on because it's just not in stock.
Oh, it's still not in stock.
Okay,
it's
for sale, but it's not.
It's not in stock right now. Okay,
right.
All right, I got you. All right, and then last but not least, man, the rookie of the year over here at GRG, aka the lawyer. You know what I'm saying? What's going on with your op?
Well, I'm glad to be back here again, bro. It's been a busy week on all fronts, bro. It's gonna be crazy tonight, man.
Yeah, it has been a crazy week. It's been a crazy week. It's been a really big. Last week for me was really, really busy. This week not so much, but it's been crazy all the way around, from just news, from just news from real life, and then news in the gaming world, and it's just been a wild week, man. So yeah, no, I totally feel you. And since you out there checking those papers and making sure that everything is legit, all the T's are crossed and the I's are dotted, we know that's why we needed the lawyer tonight. Yeah,
done.
Done. All right. What you been playing on, man? What you been playing?
Bro, it's been crazy. I haven't played anything since Sunday. Like, I haven't touched it at all.
Fraud!
I've been that busy.
Man, you got to be playing while you working. That's the only way that you can get respect from some of these people out here, man.
Bro, if I do that, I'm losing my job. No questions asked.
Trust me, the people that think that, they don't have no job. So that's just what it is, man. But anyway, before we get down and get down and dirty tonight, let's hit my man 100 back up, man. There was a situation that happened. I just found out about it myself. Man, 100, can you go ahead and let us know what's going on?
Hey, man, my man, a good dude in the Xbox community, my man, Dark Merkel, saying he passed away this morning. I just heard about it. Maybe an hour ago. You know what I'm saying? He was a good dude. We were supposed to meet up with him. That's the craziest thing. I kind of feel bad. I never met the dude. He's in the parties. He was always, he always kind of make it funny. You know what I'm saying? He was cool, and it kind of hurt that, you talk to these people. Like, if something happened to Mega, or something happened to even, you know what I'm saying, bloody ass, it bothers me, you know what I'm saying? So this kind of bothers me. You know what I'm saying? I'm making a jokey joke because that's just my persona, but it bothers me. And this kind of because it came out of nowhere, because I just saw the man in the party and I was going to join him and my boy Master Chief, and they was playing Horde mode. And they beat Horde mode like 2,700 times already. And a lot of it's things that I want to say, but I don't want to say it because it's for respect of them. But shout out to Phil and them for this E3 that everybody gives Xbox like they ain't shit, but Xbox is some pretty classy people, and I don't see no one else do that. And I just wish this E3 kind of hurt because we were supposed to meet up for the first time after we talked all these years. Like I said, I met Mega and Lemon before I met them. And I know them more than I knew Mega and 108. That's just crazy. And it bothers me a little bit, like, damn. But, my man Dark, you know what I'm saying? Good dude. Solid guy. His console battle was talking in private, not in public. So, and he always put a laugh. He'll crack a joke, or he'll send me a message or something why I do leave because somebody part of them said something crazy. It's like the memories that I have. It's just crazy, and it's like he ain't here no more. But he's still gonna be hearing all of it.
No doubt, man. And so Please, everybody, give him an RIP, man. Wish him the best on that next journey, man, and God bless. It's sad, I mean, because when we get into this and we talk about what we talk about, and then of course how social media is, when things like that, it kind of hits home, because the reality is that we're human. Our time, we all have a time when it's going to be expired, and the fact that when you are so evil and negative to certain people, I wonder if something that happens to those individuals, if something happened, would they even have any remorse, or would they, would they feel bad about their actions? That's why I tend to not try to go too left with some of these people, because you just never know. And then especially with somebody that was as young as you said, you never gave his age, but you told me that he was in his 20s. So that's really sad. He didn't really have a time to really experience his life, and that's just unfortunate. So, man, God bless, man, and hope his family is stay strong, and just for the gaming community to hold, say a prayer for him and hold him down, man. So that's it, man. So let's get on with it. Let's talk about it. First topic, Code Vein. Bloody, and was it Kunastina that sent it? I think it was Kunastina that sent it to me first, wasn't it? Bloody walked away. All right, or Bloody saying a prayer. Don't know. But regardless, it was Kunastina or Bloody or somebody that sent me this information, and it was about Code Vein. It's a game that I'm interested in, but again, it's one of those games that's kind of like Dark Souls, and it's like, I don't know. Put it on, let me put it on the back burner. Let me hear some things. Let me see what's going on, what the gaming public thinks about it. And for the most part, I've seen quite a few people playing it, and so then the reviews start coming out. Well, the reviews are hitting it hard, in some regards, if not what you think, why they're hitting it hard. And the reason is because of clad clothing. There's been reviewers that's doctored points saying the same things that they've said of like games like Gears and the list goes on. Hey, the game is fun. The game is I think the game is great, but and then one of this main reason was because the females in the game they were dressed basically with ass and tits out, and of course this is a Namco Bandai game, and it's based off of an anime. So I'm not understanding what these people think, but I want to hit the panel up. And first, let me go to 108 Dragons. I know that you got the game. What is your thoughts about it, and what do you think about this whole situation of why people are docking games because of appearances instead of just actually talking about the game itself?
Well, first of all, that doesn't even make sense. It's a Japanese style game. They look like Japanese characters. They look like anime style characters, Japanese. Some of these reviewers, I don't even think they're old enough to remember what Japanese games came from in terms of, like the whole background and how we grew up playing. I think they're just like catapulted into this generation where it's not really dominated by Japanese games. You know what I'm saying? And they don't have the nostalgia feel for Japanese anime style games. How can you complain about clothing that fits the generation that it's in? That doesn't even make sense. It just, I don't understand sometimes when they review these games, what they be drinking. It's like everybody be on some white powder or some dirty water. It's just, they be bugging. And it don't make sense to discredit a game for the style of clothing of the style of game that it is. What are you supposed to be, an anime style game, dressing like you from Brooklyn, New York? That don't even make sense. I don't get it sometimes. Some of these reviewers need to not be reviewing games, and they should understand the demographic of where a game come from. You understand what I'm saying? It doesn't even make sense. It doesn't make sense.
Yep.
No, I mean, it's in a way like, look, this is my thing. I'm pretty sure I'm out of the group of all the people that I socialize with on social media. No, I should say social media, but like on the gaming front of when I'm doing podcasts, maybe me and Xbot are probably the most I would say liberal out of it, and I'm not saying like liberal as in Democrat, Republican. I'm talking about just being more open about other people's lifestyles or things of that nature. And I know that other people that they can't stand it or whatever the case may be, but I'm pretty open about things like that. But it's like, this is what anime is. I mean, that's if it's following off of a comic book, if it's following off of a manga or anything of that sort, and it's doing the depictions of those characters, why is that a problem? I mean, I can understand if the fan base is saying that that's a problem, that went and tried to play the game, but not so much the reviewers. It seems like they're on this agenda kick of like, okay, hey, I like this game. I think this game is fun, but this is what I'm going to put in this little tidbit of why I think that this is wrong, or why I got to stand up for women, or why I got to stand up for people of color, or why I got to stand up for homosexuals, or why I got to do that. And listen, all I'm saying on that end, and then I'll go to you next, Bloody, but it's fine if you want to put that in there, but don't dock a game because of that. You could put that in your review and make your stance on that, but don't dock the game because you're trying to make an impression on a certain demographic of people to try to seem like you're on their side. You could do that without docking the people that made the game.
I got one thing to say. First of all, it's a Japanese anime style game. It's in the Japanese anime style universe. They did the same thing to Jump Force. Jump Force is garbage. It plays exactly like them goddamn animes that those characters are made after. What are you talking about? Do you either want different styles of generations of different demographic of people in games, or you don't? Or you just being biased? Because that's what it sounds like to me. Because if something comes out of Japan, unlike Metal Gear, I mean, Metal Gear was not an Eastern style game. It was a Western style game by Hideo Kojima. But anything else coming out of Japan, ain't everything anime style? Pretty much 90% of it. So they might as well say everything is bad. You think Final Fantasy 15 is westernized? No, that's anime style too. Come on, these reviewers are horrible. I'm sorry, I don't respect them.
Yeah. Go ahead, Bloody. What is your thoughts about this? Okay.
This topic had me absolutely heated because of the fact that, as you put it, it's all agenda seeking now. The fact is, they can explain that there's certain points that they won't contest because of the fact of their own personal views, but they shouldn't let those views be what they criticize the most to dock. Because, as Lemon put it, this is a Japanese game coming from a very well-known Japanese company and a very obvious anime-centric style. The game has been this way since its inception, since its first announcement, and all the characters since that first announcement has always shared this view, has always shared this style, has always shared this perception. These characters were the same way when they released the demo at the beginning of the month. Why wasn't it talked about back then? Because no one gave a shit until it actually mattered, right when the review scores were coming out. That's when everyone wants to make their agenda point to show that they have some sort of bias, or that they have some morality, or that they're open about speaking out for these people because of the fact that they feel that they need to be offended for someone else. No, they don't. If someone actually has a valid point and reasoning, they'll make it so. They won't use it in the point of a review. The people and the reviewers who are using this information as ammunition to dock these points to try and appeal to the demographic as an ally are a bunch of bullshit. Because, as Lemon stated, this is a Japanese game. This is an anime game. It has been very anime since the beginning. Fan service exists in those anime style games, and in anime, and in manga, and in Japanese culture for a very, very long time. That is a culture thing. You're knocking the game because of a cultural standing. Yes, some people don't like it. Some people find it very in your face. It's not to appeal to you. One, it's a very, very Dark Souls-based game. However, it still has a very anime feel, and it's going to have a certain appeal to the demographic. And there's women who are perfectly fine with that because of the fact that it's accepted. Yes, there's some who find it too much on both sides of the spectrum, but you don't have to shove it in your face that you're trying to make it in a point that, hey, I feel offended for women because there's titties all over the place. Guess what? There's 7 other fucking games that are all Japanese based that have characters like that, and yet no one's saying a goddamn thing. Look at the whole controversy and backlash over the whole Tifa isn't as busty as she used to be when they showed off the Final Fantasy VII remake.
Great point. Yeah, that's right.
Look at the whole basis around Cindy when they first showed off Final Fantasy 15 because of the fact that you're talking about a character who's a mechanic who has basically a bra that's not even really a bra, showing in a very midriff jacket and short shorts and a thong that was showing off. Did some people make a, hang on, hang on.
Bloody. Okay. You understand what you're talking about, bloody. You know what I'm saying? But are you gonna like the game?
Oh, I do love the game. That's
you love the game.
I do love the game.
Let's talk about how you love the game instead of fucking with these fucking raggedy ass developers. They're not real developers.
You want to developers.
No, we don't need you.
It's not developers. It's the reviewers. It's the reviewers.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck. It's the reviewers. The fucking reviewers. I don't care. You gotta understand this. Can't have a 3-hour show tonight. You know what I'm saying? You gotta understand. I feel your pain. You know what I'm saying? Share it with me. You know what I'm saying?
And that's what I'm trying to do. As the Japanese
but the thing about it is,
anime king, I have to be the most vocal about this.
Yeah, but you vocal. But I'm gonna put this way: half the Westerners don't give a shit about Code Vein. We don't. I'm not buying Code Vein.
I wouldn't go that far.
I'm gonna keep it 100. 100. Hang on. Let's do it. This is like I do what I did yesterday. If Code Vein do $2 million, I will buy you a special edition, even if it's with a baby in your chest. I will buy it myself. Is that a bet?
All right, that's a bet.
Is that bet?
I think it might do $2 million, man.
Man, that shit gonna go.
But hold on, one. That's a bet. 100. I'll absolutely do that.
Bet. But they do $3 million. If they do $3 million in a month.
I have something for K-Mega. K-Mega, it really don't play like Dark Souls. It's more action orientated than anything else.
Oh, okay. It
really does not play like Dark Souls.
Okay.
After I played it when I was playing it yesterday,
but it's not.
I wouldn't even. It's more action inspired. Dark Souls is tedious and pathetic. The only thing let me finish. The only thing that has something. Hold on, you've been interrupted by 100. I interrupted 100. So what I'm saying is that game. The only thing it has in common with Dark Souls is you die, you go back to the beginning of the level where you started. That's the one thing it has in common.
Play that type of shit.
Hold on, but gameplay wise, it does not have nothing to do with Dark Souls. It really don't.
Again, it's
Souls.
Hang on, I'm trying to say it's Souls inspired. I also said from the get-go 100, it's not going to appeal to everyone. It's going to appeal to those who like that Soul style gameplay, but it's also going to specifically appeal to those who like anime style games. That is the demographic that this game has been appealing to, and it has never shied away from that fact. It has been very open about what it's trying to appeal to. And I've always supported that because of the fact that, one, the character creation absolutely feels anime. The gameplay feels very action-oriented. Yes, 100. It has a lot, or Lemon, it has a lot of aspects that is Dark Souls-esque in the variety of weapons, the very heavy stat space, and the not necessarily you choose a class, but you can mix that class to feel very out of its element. But the thing is, it is very action oriented. It's a lot more, but it still takes pacing and timing like you will learn out of Dark Souls. That's why I was saying it's not Dark Souls-esque, it's more Dark Souls inspired. There's a difference between the two. But the thing is, people are using this game to make an agenda, just like we've seen with everything else. Look at what happened also with Mortal Kombat 11, right? people were saying, oh, it's a great thing that the women are no longer overly sexualized and scantily clad, and yet there was also the people who just like, who gives a shit? I was like, we've seen them that way for years, and suddenly now it's an issue.
Yeah, but Bloody, why did you give to?
This is
why you give to with everybody. If Bloody, we are our own opinionated podcast, right? We all got different views, right? Why do you worry about what the fuck the world is doing?
Oh, okay,
He's
but
not worried.
He's not worried. Okay, look, it's a topic, and first off,
y'all answer to the wrong kind.
No,
Think about it.
100.
Bloody,
you're not.
no.
Don't talk to Bloody. Hold on, talk to me. This is the problem, 100, right here, that you're not getting the concept of. This is bigger than the game itself. This is something.
This ain't politics. Gaming ain't politics. We need to take politics out this shit.
But it is politics when you. But it is.
No,
it does have politics.
We got politics, but we're
how is it that it doesn't?
Gamers,
this is the topic that we're talking about.
When we play games, I don't give a fuck if you're Republican, Democrat, liberal, none of that. I don't care about that.
This got nothing to do with the fact of about that type of politics. This is talking about the power that
we're going.
As a group, we need. You gonna let me talk? As a group,
right now, that doesn't make no sense.
As a group, we are gamers.
We're not talking about us. We're talking about reviewers. That's using their power to hurt gamers.
I want Bloody to sell me on that game so I can buy it right now.
Okay.
He doesn't have to sell it. It's not about Bloody. Bloody is part of the group. I'm gonna listen to Bloody. Hang on. I'm gonna listen to Bloody. I'm gonna listen to Bloody before I listen to somebody else. No,
100 got his own self triggered. Yeah, 100 got his own self triggered tonight. Look, this is the thing right here, man. I got you, but 100, but you're missing the overall point of the topic. Yeah, like it's the point is when we could have already been done with it instead of going on into this spat about fucking politics. We're talking about the power of reviewers putting in their whatever agenda is and hurting scores when it shouldn't be that way.
That's my whole thing.
No, we don't.
Should not worry about scores.
It's a gaming topic.
If you like it, okay, Megan, we good. We good at what? We watch a game, right? We'll see a game in the Xbox store, right? And we'll buy it, right? How many we good at that? Sometimes we hit and miss, right?
Right.
It looked good, right? But we didn't go to a reviewer before we bought it. We went off of, that's my type of game, right? Like, I like that game. Just like you bought the game that it's like, what you call it? The dungeon crawler, right? Did you hear anybody beat you down for that?
But it's not about us. It's about the topic we're talking about.
No, I'm talking about the topic is people need to quit worrying about what these reviewers are saying and worry about people that really play these games.
I get that, but that's where we're trying to get to. And you know what I'm saying?
Gotta let the man make his point.
Yeah, but you got to make the man make this point. But you know what I'm saying? And there's other two people in here that want to make their points as well.
Right.
So you made your point. So you made your point, brother. So we'll exclude you. No. Yeah.
Let Bloody finish.
Let Bloody finish and be quick with it, Bloody, so we can go ahead and get to live and get to op. But go ahead and finish up, man.
Yeah, so basically what I'm trying to get to is the fact of that it's just ridiculous that suddenly this is honestly what happens with and nothing against the whole thing, but this is the post Me Too movement era, right? Suddenly everyone's got to make everything an agenda to appeal to a certain demographic because of the fact that they're trying to get those views, those pull, that kind of sense to make themselves feel relevant, when that's not the way to do it. That's not the proper way to do it. And that is not the way that you're going to get these people, because some of those people that will buy into the controversy aren't even the people who are actually going to support this stuff one way or the other, the ones who are really going to be vocal about it for the right reasons. They're just going to follow it because of the fact that it's going to be used for controversy and it's going to be used for something that makes no sense to any of that. And it's the worst part of it, because of the fact that the game is so well done, it has so much potential, but people aren't going to pay attention to it, except for those who are very dedicated to that style of game, that genre, as well as the fact that it's anime. It's the hardcore crowd that likes those Dark Souls-esque and inspired style games like me, or those who really support Japanese games and especially anything anime inspired like me. I was like, those are the people who are gonna be out reaching for these games, and some of these reviews are just doing this agenda bullshit to try and get some sort of semblance of notoriety to people who aren't even the ones that really care for gaming as it is.
Right, and that's I totally agree with that point. Yeah, that's the point.
Yeah.
Livewire, you want to touch on this?
Yeah, I'll touch on it real quick.
All right.
I'll say this. I played Code Vein. I don't own it. I played the demo. I wasn't a fan of it, right? But that's besides the point. And I even addressed the whole thing with, man, she's really, they kind of got the boobs out and all that stuff. But again, I don't like anime games. So regardless, I wouldn't be the person you would go to review to talk about that. But this is what I do find is people do have agendas. They don't. That'd be like somebody complaining about like a vintage Hollywood film being in black and white and saying how they'd be like, oh, well, why don't they put it in color? Like, because sometimes shit is best left alone. Like sometimes things don't need to be changed. Just because it's not a genre that you particularly care for doesn't mean it shouldn't exist. I think one of the biggest issues with the whole Me Too movement was the lack of balance. They were trying to correct something that was out of whack, right?
Yeah.
Like things weren't being checked. People, you had the guys that were doing, because Me Too, like people think it's all like it was just about dudes pulling their dicks out and doing dumb shit to women in the workplace. It was beyond that. They were like,
it was about standing up for those who were being.
He cut his own mic off. He cut his own mic off. All right, okay. Well,
no, I'm still here.
You cut off.
How do I cut off?
I don't know. You didn't.
I don't know. We don't know.
We don't know. Maybe it's the CIA. They were like, maybe you was going too long. Maybe the whistleblower. I don't know. Go ahead.
No, so I was saying how, like, with the Me Too movement, there's a lot of shit that's involved in it. It's not like it's just one thing. It's not like Me Too is just dudes, doing inappropriate shit in the workplace. It was like it's equality for women and et cetera, et cetera. But the thing is like they're trying. Some of the shit is getting overcorrected, and a lot of the times it's not even the women that are only the ones doing it. It's dudes doing it, like doing this shit too. It's like, oh, it's got too much titties in it. I don't want anybody to think I'm sexist or something. So guess what? Thumbs down. Like, what the fuck? Like, bro, it's okay to have certain games that fit in a specific genre. Now, if they did that to Ellie in The Last of Us, totally get that being an issue, because it wasn't there before, and it doesn't really fit the kind of like world that they're building. Like her walking around with her boobs out while fighting zombies doesn't really make sense for the type of game that they're trying to go for.
Right. You
feel me? So I totally get that. But with Code Vein, it's different. It's an anime, and I think that the fact that people are, because most of us grew up in the 80s, right?
Yep.
Except for Bloody. But most of us grew up in the 80s.
And Op.
Oh, and Op. All right. Yeah. And the thing about growing up in the 80s, people always talk about women being overly sexualized. Who were more overly sexualized in the 80s? Men or women? Think about our toys. All of our toys.
I don't have
E-Man, no shirt on.
I don't have sex toys.
Bruce Lee, no shirt on. I'm just talking about on some real shit. Think about
Tom Selleck. Christopher.
Really?
No,
you was playing with a mustache.
Hold on. What's the other dude name from Knight Rider? Yes. All them dudes was on every poster possible. Half naked. Back in the day,
he would sit there with his leg up and his jacket up. Right. Men were totally overly sexualized. But the problem is
Prince, Michael Jackson.
But see, the difference
Michael
is
Jackson wasn't
when
sexualized.
men are overly sexual, it's very because
how many posters he got with it on? Look how many Billie Jean posters he got with his shirt open, split down the middle.
I mean, basically any picture.
I'm not gonna let you have Michael
with the Jerry girl. With the Jerry girl.
I know, Dark Michael. I got you.
But think about any picture, any poster of Prince. Prince was a sex symbol. Any photo of that man was
Prince was
him.
a porn star.
Okay, I think we're going way left. We're going way left.
The issue was that yes, we saw a lot of those same images in the 80s, but the difference is when women had to work in the workplace, they weren't respected the same, and they were constantly being objectified by a lot of the people in the office. Like if you didn't come in looking a certain way, they wouldn't give a fuck about you. And then if you did come in looking a certain way, then you would get harassed. That was the real issue. I mean, a lot of the same shit. I mean, I'm telling you, the shit you saw in the 80s, it was way more sexualized. It wasn't until like hip hop and like with the video vixens that you really saw kind of like more of a switch towards like, all right, now they're really going all out on the like girls walking around in bikinis and shit like that.
I don't know about that. I mean, that women has always been sexualized to a certain degree, even when they had standards. But we're going. But I get where you're going. But we're still going further away from then the point at hand, which is about the reviewers and what they're doing.
I said,
I know you're trying to bring it back, but we got to bring it back. We got to bring it back for 100 to have another outburst. I don't know if I can handle another one of those.
But yeah, that's all I was saying. They're trying to autocorrect, and that's why it's almost like they're nitpicking because of this. Because it's like, bro, if that's not your genre, and you don't understand the elements that go into it, it's like maybe you should be not reviewing the game.
We should just say what it is. If you a man and you complain about too much breast in a video game, I'm done with you.
Well, no, look, I won't go that far either. I won't go that far either. I won't go that far. See that? Yeah. See that's another thing too, right? Because you got a different and then that's a whole nother discussion. I'm not going there. Shut up, live. No more. Do you got anything else you want to say about that?
Oh man, this is crazy. Like the funny thing is, like both sides aren't particularly wrong. Just ideas clashing right now. Mm-hmm. Me, Sally. It's been a trend with Japanese studios getting flack for doing the same quote-unquote pervy shit they've always done. Now, women can't be drawn or created with a thicker body. Every woman has to be this nearly flat on all surface type of build now. Like, come on, now, that's ridiculous. Look at Mortal Kombat and what they did there. Like, sorry, like, person fight women in this world. Some have better features than others, some don't. That's life. You can't really change it. That's really how it is. If you don't like it, you can change it. You change your own body if you want to. You don't have to play the game as well on top of that as well. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't know, man. Like, you have the power to change if you want to. Bring everything down to your own ideal features is just crazy at this point. We live in a hypersensitive time where disagreeing with someone can lead to losing your job or worse. The saddest part about this, like, whole censoring wave will affect everyone, even people who are pushing it. It's going to get to a point like even you who are sensitive going to affect someone else, and that could lead to even more restricted stuff you can say. But really, at the end, nobody's going to be safe. Hopefully, Bandai Namco in the studio can breeze through this because, like, when I seen gameplay and heard, the game looks good, looks fun.
They should talk about what's really wrong with the game. Bad frame rates and hitches. Nobody's saying nothing but the community. The game is broken. Nobody said that.
Every game is broken, Lemon. Every game.
It has frame rate. It has some technical problems, son.
How many games has come out?
I'm just saying.
How many big? But answer my question though. How many games that's come out that's been a big title, excited to, and they've been broken? That's
what I'm saying.
They'll get a patch and it'll be better. Yeah, no, right. I get that. I get that. But that's not what those reviewers are saying.
Clothes.
No, you're right.
A and B, y'all got to wrap this shit up, man. We're going too long. Let's go.
Okay, all right, we got you. Now, my point. You ain't gonna shut me up. Now, listen, this is the thing right here for me, and just to address it real quickly, I think it's to the point what Live was saying about the whole Me Too movement and everything. Where I look at it, where it's seriously flawed, is that it had a good purpose, but then the people, most of the people that were supposed to go down didn't. You had Bill Cosby and you got R. Kelly. What happened to Spacey? What happened to fucking Weinstein? That, I mean, you know what I'm saying? I mean, or whatever his name was. Was it Weinstein? Because I get
Harvey Weinstein.
Yeah. Why? Because I get Epstein and Weinstein kind of mixed up. You know what I'm saying? But the one thing to me is that's what trips me out about the whole Me Too movement. And I do agree that it is agenda based, but like I said, if you do those type of things in a game, if you, it's nothing wrong to talk about it in a review if you have that stance, but to dock a game because of it, and that's a part of the manga or the anime style of those characters. If they have a manga or anything like that, or anime series, I have no idea about these characters, but to me, I think that's bullshit, because that just also shows that these reviewers don't know anything about the content, and I have a problem with these people keep trying to talk about what's good, what's bad about the game, and let me dock it because I don't like this particular thing, and they have no idea what's the substance, the meat on the bone at that particular game. I think that's the bigger issue, and that's what needs to be erased. And again, like I've told so many people, and I will continue to say it, stop listening to these damn reviewers. Just stop paying attention to them. The one thing is things that needs to be changed is that they need to take away the scores away, because I think a lot of people don't read through this stuff. Kind of like what that video said. People don't read through it. They just go and they just scroll all the way down just to see what the score is, and then they think in their head, "Oh, that game is a 70. That game is trash. That game is not up to my standard." Instead of reading of why they gave it a 70, because they could have gave it a 90, but because of that stupid reason, they docked it. So instead of these people having number reviews or star reviews, have the gamers read everything that they point out, and then the people will be more objective of saying, you know what, that's bullshit. Now I'm going to buy this game. I think that those type of things need to be changed. But anyway, we'll go ahead and go to the next topic. Let me know what you think about this in the chat too. I've seen a lot of people talk about it and stuff. I think, but yeah, that's something that's got to be done with the reviewers themselves. I'm getting really sick and tired of reviewers dictating people's jobs. Yeah, what's good, what's bad. Only thing you're supposed to do is tell us about the game. That's it. You know what I'm saying? If you want to put your agenda in there, but you can't dock a game for that, that person should be fired, in my opinion. All those people.
How about letting somebody review the game that they're in that genre? They like that genre.
I've said that a million times. Yeah, we've said that a million times.
I've said that. They could criticize something because they're coming from that genre and they respect it and demand a certain status with the game.
And you know what?
Then they can say, well, I didn't like it because of this, and I played this game and I love this game. But they got dudes reviewing RPGs that play Madden.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. It doesn't make sense. And
Right.
Christopher Hart made a really good point that I don't think anybody addressed. And then I'm saying we're gonna talk to the next topic. He said, so wait, games are getting docked for naked characters now? No wonder Sony wants censorship. Absolutely right, because Sony is living and breathing off of these reviews. Well, all these games do, and you got people that have agendas that wants to dock games for whatever reason that they do, instead of for what the reason is. Like Lemon, what you said, the game has bad frame rates. That's what should be talked about, not about clad outfits. But all right, next topic, talking about COD Backlash, man. I looked and I seen a lot of people getting upset about Call of Duty's content being withheld for a year, and it's going straight to, it's staying on PlayStation. It's kind of like a horde mode, which sounds really awesome. That sounds dope. I mean, I'm glad that COD is kind of opening up their modes and going all out with things. And so it sounds really cool, but it's only exclusive to the PlayStation 4 for a year. Now, that's got a lot of people upset. People have been saying that they've been having protests. There's been people saying, let's boycott Call of Duty. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Listen, I don't know. I'm going to go to you, Op. what is your thoughts about this? Now, is this something that will stop you from buying Call of Duty, or is it something that this is just business? Give me your thoughts about this whole situation.
Well, I wasn't going to buy it in the first place. I'll wait for Game Pass on this. But like, as far as business, yes, this is how it is. This has been for years. Like, as far as COD, the sad part about this is not really new. It's only nearly did the same thing with Destiny and the Taken King DLC in what was 2015, I believe. Like, got a strike, a map, legendary gear. You can argue if you want to which one's worse. At the end of the day, this is just annoying as hell for gamers on the opposite side of the fence. Like, if you want to boycott, go ahead. I'm really curious how effective it's going to be, because this is going to be what, like, 30th annual boycott of COD that we've done. That really hasn't been that effective in the past. But will people actually make it in the game? Probably not. We won't know till that happens. Personally, like I said before, always with Game Pass, like, this is an annoying situation. I do hate it. Business is life. Like, it's just not fair, but it is.
Okay. All right. 100. You there? I know your mic's muted, but I don't know if you're just sitting there or you whatever you're doing. Okay. All right. So let me go to Livewire. What is your thoughts about this, Livewire? I mean,
I'm here. I just mute myself.
Well, I know you did, but I called you. I'm like, man, okay.
I'm trying to get to, because I'm trying to talk to the live chat at the same time. So that, I'm trying to multitask and shit.
You can go ahead, man. You can multitask. I know you can.
Multitask. Y'all want me to wild down anyway? I say I'm too hype.
No, you can be hype. I just was like, well, what's going on here? I don't know. That was juicy.
No, you too hype. Wind down.
No. I like the hype. No, I'm playing anyway. No. Okay, what is your thing about COD, man? Is it something that is that pisses you off about the exclusive content, or it's just business? Where are you at on this? Are you boycotting?
My thing is, no, I'm not. But I just wanted to play it. I'm not a Call of Duty multiplayer fan anyway. I get COD every year. People sit there. If people sit there and say, "Oh, you buy Call of Duty everything," I buy it because of my son. We game share together. He loves shit. I play a little of it every now and then. I heard it's playing like Battlefield. I'm dog shit at Battlefield, so I'm keeping it a buck with y'all. Y'all know I can't kill everybody on every multiplayer game, but I'm there. I'm intrigued in the story. When I saw the story trailer, I'm like, okay, you bet not be nowhere close to what happened in the first one. You know what I'm saying? Y'all better change some shit up. You know what I'm saying? I don't need a bomb in London. I need it in Shanghai, and we start a war against us and the Chinese or some shit. Do something different. It looks good. This is the best card I saw.
Battlefield 4, I think.
I fuck Battlefield 4. The shit kept on breaking. Got to the end, it kept on breaking and shit. Fuck, that's what. I apologize for the you know what I'm saying, the F-bombs, but that's how I feel about it, because I got close to the end and it killed me.
Really?
You know what I'm saying? I had to start all the way over.
Well,
I mean,
it was severely broken in the beginning of it. Probably maybe 4 or 5 months.
I ain't go back. I said I ain't going back to it because I put in too much work.
It's so worth it. But anyway, go ahead, man. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
But it was too much. I'm like, man, I put in too much work, man. I was getting off the aircraft carrier and all that other stuff. So y'all say I don't play these games, you're gonna take my police record. You know what I'm saying? I played it. I ain't beat it because I got tired of it. But you know. I'm buying it day one because I want to play the story.
So you are going to be one of those people that
I got it day one.
Don't care about these shady business practices.
Oh no, I don't care. What they don't do nothing with me? I want to just play the story. Like I said, I bought all my Halos for the story. I didn't buy them for the multiplayer. I bought all my Gears of Wars for the story. I ain't buying for the multiplayer. So I might be different from what I think I'm a last of a dying breed. I'm just keeping it real. It didn't hurt me. And the backlash, I understand people sitting there like, I paid $60 for a game and I don't have a game mode. You know what I'm saying? I don't have a game mode. We talking about a horde mode. Go put in goddamn Gears of War. You can enjoy it. Because I ain't beat the damn horde mode yet. Come on. We gamers getting real petty these days. If you need that mode so much, go buy it on PlayStation. I'm gonna give it a buck.
All right.
And that's all I gotta say about that.
All right, cool. All right, 108. What's your thoughts about this, man?
First of all, these dudes is liars. Infinity Ward. When they went and dropped that game, which I'm buying it day one, the deluxe edition, the everything edition, but they said there would be no parity in content from day one.
They did say that. You're right.
They did. That's right. And then this comes out. Okay, y'all full of it. I'm still buying the game. I don't co-sign the parity, but that's what they want to do. I'm still buying it on my X, even though I got a Pro. That one mode does not make or break me. I see why the community is upset, because the mode is something new to Call of Duty, and they would like to experience it. I don't get the year exclusivity with these games. When I buy the same car you buy, I want my radio in it. Don't you? I don't want to leave the parking lot without my radio. And we got the same car, spend the same money. And after you said there would be no parity in content, it will release simultaneously, and everybody's going to get it at one time. Then you put out a video and put that in small print with a date on it. They just showed their hypocrisy. They're hypocrites. That's what people are more mad about than anything else, because they promoted no parity with content. It wasn't that big of a deal with Destiny, but it's a bigger deal with Call of Duty, because Call of Duty is a bigger damn game.
It was still a big deal for Call.
It was a big deal, but not as much, because they knew about it and they didn't lie, bloody. We talking about them lying.
No, they did lie. They did lie.
That's what I'm talking about. That's
no. I'm saying no, but I'm saying they did lie with Destiny, and I'm about to pull that out because I was the one who called that out too. I was like, I'm about to spit some facts for you.
Why for me? I'm not listening to you. The people are.
I know, but right. I'm saying right now. But sure.
Uh-oh.
We knew there was we knew there was we knew they had exclusive content on PlayStation from day one on Destiny.
Yes, but they also used very vague language and lied about a lot of timing for a lot of things, which is what I'm.
Well, timing is different, but we knew it was coming. We knew it was coming. Called Infinity Ward said there is no parity. Zero. They lied. That is what it is. I'm still buying the game. Yeah. I love the game. I had a blast killing mad people. Mad people. Mad people. But it's just bull, because they came out and said if they was like, oh, they're getting exclusive content on PlayStation, nobody would have made a big deal. They'd been like, damn, that's messed up, but it ain't the first time. But when you get out there and say something, and then you put out a video with some small print, and people go, wait a minute, that said is exclusive till October next year. But they just said that's the problem.
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, that's the thing that they need to be real for. I totally agree. Livewire got his mic muted, so Bloody, go. I
want to hear his tracks.
Who, Bloody? No, I'm letting Bloody go. Yeah, go ahead, Bloody. What's your thoughts about this, man? Are you boycotting?
No.
Here's the thing, right? This is what's going to be the problem about it, is the fact that Lemon brought up a good point, is that they didn't mention any sort of parity, right? They said there was going to be no parity, everything would be same across all things, and then they come out with a very, very lying, or not really lying, the very sneaky and shady video saying, hey, yeah, this mode is gonna be out and it's a thing, but it's not gonna be for everyone until next year, when the next Call of Duty's out and this game's gonna be irrelevant for everyone else. Here's the issue about that, right? We get that Sony is very into doing exclusive content, right? But there's a difference when you're doing and holding back map packs for a little bit, from what we saw in the past, which was a few days, to some things being by a month or so. That was kind of the standard when it came to Call of Duty.
Right.
We're starting to see that Sony has been very active about pushing exclusive content for as long as they can, which has been really pushing a lot of games or specific DLC and stuff like that for over a year. And it's been showing that they're trying to be a lot more stern about this and a lot more pushing for this kind of aspect. The issue with it is the fact of the reason that people should be upset about this. Am I getting the game? Yes, because I want this story. I was like, but the thing is that it still upsets me and pisses me off, because the fact that The issue that this is the
But
fact
they
that
don't care about you
hang
being
on,
upset.
Hang on.
But why are you? I mean, but why would
Hang
they care
on,
about
let
you
me
being
fucking
upset?
get my point out.
Hey man, hold on,
Okay.
wait a minute. Who about chill? I'm making my point though. Why are you?
You're not
why are you making
point.
it?
And I'm telling you exactly why, but you won't shut up till let me get it out. What the reason is? The reason that everyone is upset is because everyone is paying the same amount. So they're paying for the same game and the same content that's just being locked away. Everyone's paying the same price for the same game, but stuff is getting locked away. There's a difference when you're paying for more or anything that's certainly early
but
access.
You're upset and you're still paying. You think they care?
They're upset because of that, bloody. They're upset because they lied.
No, there was the same reason that Destiny's community got upset, and it wasn't just from the Xbox camp and everything. It was even the Sony's because of the fact that it does have an effect on both sides. On this one, not as much, but the fact is that it does split the player base. And when you're looking at a game that just made crossplay a thing, that opened up. No, they made cross. Oh my God! This is the first time. This is the first time Call of Duty's done crossplay.
But they didn't make it a thing. They didn't make it a thing. You reworded that wrong. They did not make it a thing.
Yes, they did. They made it a thing.
No, they did not.
Oh my God! No one.
Fortnite is a bigger game, and they made it a thing.
Facts.
No, y'all, no. Y'all are completely misconstruing everything that I'm saying, and I'm using proper English. Y'all just don't understand. When I say they made it a thing,
what is this? Out?
Hang on, you calling us illiterate? We're not literate.
We're illiterate.
Illiterate.
You talking about we illiterate?
Illiterate is saying that you don't know how to
read. But that's not. We can read. He said we're incompetent.
We're incompetent.
What I'm saying is that y'all need to understand that have a proper grasp of the English language.
I'm not even calling you an anime.
Your name ain't a proper. Your name, Bloody Knuckles, is not a proper grasp of the English language. So how you gonna
understand? We don't understand.
What
I've been trying to say.
You've been just saying. Okay, hold on, Lemon, chill. Let him assume that we can comprehend of his spectacular language. So go ahead, amuse the fuck out of us, Bloody. Go ahead, keep on. I'm intrigued.
What I've been trying to say is by making a thing. I'm saying this is the first time.
Elaborate the fucking thing while you keep talking about we are incompetent. Elaborate the fucking thing.
Well, I'm trying to elaborate. If you would stop.
You're taking too goddamn long. Come on, elaborate.
Because of the fact that you keep interrupting me to elaborate before I can fucking elaborate. When I say that they made crossplay thing, I'm saying is that they made it a very big point of what they're doing with this game. Because it's the first time Call of Duty has made crossplay. And they've shown that crossplay has been a very big success with these tests that they just did before the game launched. So if you're going to push crossplay and make content for fucking everyone to be able to play, why are you going to hold back a mode from everyone else being able to participate in a game that is crossplay? If it was only PlayStation and there was no way to play with PC, there was no way to play with Xbox, that's a whole fucking different other story. But the thing is, you're making it crossplay, so that means everyone can play together. So when you're holding an entire mode away from everyone being able to play together, that's going to be cause for a bit of an outrage, especially with the fact that they already said that there was going to be no parity in content. It's a different aspect on what affected Destiny, but it's the same reason that there was an outrage with the holding back content for years.
Okay, now the other question.
Calm your goddamn your levels up too goddamn high because you was in front of our faces. We probably would have punched your ass out.
Oh, see, there we go. There we go. See,
you ain't gonna it ain't gonna be that. Calm it down. We on a level playing field. Let's keep it on the level playing field.
Calm down after your
Ladies and gentlemen, I said that tonight was going to be a better show.
Let's keep it on the
level
playing field.
Like this. All right, so
let's keep it on the low and playing field. That's all I'm saying.
All right,
I'm the police tonight.
Oh my, you the police.
You the police. You were the first one to freak out.
Yeah, you're the one. Yeah, I agree.
You have no right to talk about being the police.
Just because I do it. So you a follower?
So
are you a follower? So are you a follower? Or said, are you a follower? Just because I freaked out, because I had a moment. So are you a follower? So are you a sheep?
I'm not. I'm the one who's preaching.
So you preaching what? We don't preach demon rings around here.
Hey, listen here. Everyone in the chat agrees with me, so I don't need you to tell me what
I don't care about what the chat is. Everybody don't agree with me, period.
No one ever agrees with you because you always wild about shit that makes no sense.
People in the chat, please let us know if you are going to buy COD, yes or no.
Buy Call of Duty because you buying it for the story.
Are you going to buy it? Because I mean, listen,
they gonna buy regardless.
This is what's cracking me up. All right, this is what's funny overall, right? Like I get it. You know, I can't believe I got called incompetent, but that's fine. I'll be. But this is the thing. It don't matter. Like, I'm listening to Bloody Bitch. I'm listening to people in the chat, bitch. I'm listening to people on social media, on Twitter, on Facebook, on Instagram. They're all complaining and bitching about this. But you know what? At the end of the day, it's kind of like if you look at percentages, just like on this panel. Bloody's upset. Lemon's upset. Well, I wouldn't say Bloody's upset. Lemon is not really upset, but Lemon is like, it's fucked up. They lied to us.
Right.
Livewire's don't gonna care. He's not gonna buy the game. 100 thinks it's bullshit, but he don't care. You know what I'm saying? Op thinks it's trash. But the fact that I think it's just business. PlayStation pulled out the dollars. That's just what they did. It's not about them being the market leader, because they can be the market leader and have the market share all they want to. If Microsoft said, here's 20 million. Oh, PlayStation gave you 15. I'll give you 20 million. Let me go ahead and get that year exclusive content. Guess where you think Activision is going to go and put? Oh, look at this. We got this mode only on Xbox for a year. And then you got PlayStation fans bitching.
Microsoft got deeper pockets.
That's what I'm saying. So again, this is just business. Phil Spencer has already said that he is not about that type of thing. And of course, what happened with Tomb Raider, that just made everybody pissed off, because I mean, for Xbox fans, that was like, man, Microsoft should just go ahead and buy the Tomb Raider franchise. I mean, you know what I'm saying? If they save the game, buy the fucking game, right? Mm-hmm. And then you had PlayStation fans was like, you know, of course, death threats, saying it was going to rape and kill the developer. They went crazy.
Village to village.
Yeah, and petitions everywhere. So it's business. It's dirty tactics. But again, this is business, and you can't. And if you're not going to stand your ground, which I've seen some people in here that said, "Look, man, hey, I'm not going to support this game. I'm not going to buy it." Kudos to you, because you're standing your ground. That's why I ain't open my mouth and say shit. I'm like, this is business. I'm still going to buy COD because I want to play it, because because I didn't buy last year. I thought it was a crime for what they did with last year's COD. And I'm like, if they're going with this model, I'm never going to buy a COD again. And I didn't buy it. I'm like, this is just business, man. Just buy it on the PlayStation 4, like 100 said, if you want it. So anyway, man, let's go to the topic. Let's go to the topic. Go ahead. What you gonna say, Bloody?
Farscape said that y'all created the beast that is me because I've been absorbing y'all energy for far too long.
That probably is true. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I can remember when it was a young Knuckles that came on here, and he just had long hair, and he had one ring, and I think it was just a rock ring. Now he's absorbed the energy of others amongst the GRG, and then just kind of formed into his own little Voltron. I don't know, but regardless,
it all started because he get more women than 100.
There we go. Don't do that. Don't start that shit. Not on the show. Let's say that for Xbox Live. Hey, let me give a big shout out to
GRG After Dark.
Yeah, let me go ahead and give a big shout out to Thomas Franks. He says, just got in. He says, you guys are lit. Yes, man. You should have heard at the beginning of the show, bruh. That shit with 100 was going. I don't even know what the hell was going on, bro. But it was nice. It was pretty funny. All right, let's get to the topic, man. Get to it. My mouth's been watering for this topic ever since I heard about it. Right.
But you've been watering for that Henny.
Well, hold on. I've been sipping on it a little bit. I'm sipping on it, but I'm still kosher. I'm cool. I can comprehend a little bit. I don't know. Maybe by the end of the show, I'll be letting Bloody do my outro. Because that Henny do get me,
like
boy.
usual for the past couple weeks.
I mean, I've been tired. I'm not tired tonight. I'm ready for action. The Last of Us 2 got announced. Yay for everybody out there that's been excited for The Last of Us 2 come out. They've been ready to see the other trailer. They've been ready for it. They got a date, 2/20/20. All that good shit, right? Showed that last trailer, looked hot. You know what I'm saying? I can't wait to be on the next podcast tomorrow. So my boy Xbox gonna talk about that downgrade. I can't wait. I told him not to get out there. Not to get out there. But we ain't gonna talk about no downgrades and shit like that because I don't care about that. That's you know what I'm saying? I wasn't talking about Puddlegate. I'm not gonna talk about The Last of Us, about how it looks graphically and shit like that. To me, it looks beautiful. Get over it. Whatever, right? So what I do want to talk about is that everybody's hyped. They was loving it, man. It was great. Like, man, Tuesday, man, it seemed like that PlayStation elevation was to the utmost high. Like, man, it could give a high five to God. They were so high. And then all of a sudden, the article came out Wednesday. And all of a sudden, Xbox fans, they put their Gears 5 down, their Borderlands 3. And they lifted their eyebrow. And they said, what the hell is this? This game is going to be 2 discs. Nothing wrong with that. Okay, we've been playing with 2 discs, 3 discs, 4 disc games. You know, it seems a little different because
Shenmue?
Right. We've been playing games like that. Okay, so that's not a big deal. I see a couple of Xbox fans throw jabs over there. I think, no, there ain't nothing to be throwing jabs at. But what I do think that's kind of funny to me and to the rest of the staff and to a lot of gamers out there just as a whole is that a game that had a multiplayer mode does not have it. It said the multiplayer mode will not be included into The Last of Us 2. Mind you, that this game, gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen in the panel, I mean not the panel, but in the chat, that this game got 2 discs. And this game does not have the multiplayer that's a cult favorite. If you ain't played that multiplayer, the multiplayer is savage. It's like it has a Gears vibe to it, but it's even way savage because you can beat a motherfucker across the head with a hammer. You can do all type, man. You execute people like crazy, right? It's not the greatest, but it still can build off of something really great.
It's strategic. It's tough.
Yeah, right. It's tough. But the other thing that that's got me a little perplexed, ladies and gentlemen, the thing that's got me a little confused is that I remember, I'm going to take it back. I'm going to take it way back when I was on the multiplayer. I'm going to call a couple of names tonight.
Oh, Lord.
No, not in a malicious way. But I was told by a former...
Even if not, mentioning their name's going to bring shit on us.
No. How's it going? No. I'm saying names of people that I don't have no. This is not malicious, malicious at all. This is just me asking the question.
It doesn't have to be with them.
It won't be malicious. But let me make a point. You know what I'm saying? Former member of the GRG podcast. He out there doing his thing with Dealer and them. My boy Fonzarelli, and all those guys on the multiplayer, Puerto Rock, all of them, was in my ass about what I said about 30 frames per second versus 60 frames per second. Just let the developers do what they need to do. Okay? They told me it's 60 frames or death. Nothing. No game should be 30 frames per second. Especially these games that's going to be working on the Pro, on this, on that. 60 frames per second or bust. Now, I get it. The PlayStation 4 is still old hardware. The Pro isn't, though. And this is a game that's been in development for how many years? And it has no multiplayer. It only has just one mode, which is the story mode, which sounds like it's going to be a killer story game. But you can't achieve 60 frames per second when your competition has a game like Gears 5 that can play 60 frames per second on the S and even on the Fat, I believe. And it has all those modes, and And nobody's questioning that. Nobody has brought that up. Like I said, I'm not being malicious. I'm like, but where's the 60 frames per second police at? Where's the squadron? Where are you at? Because I ain't heard a damn thing. The only few people, I brought this up, and then other people heard me say it, and they start bringing it up. But I ain't heard nobody that was on that stance talking about it now. So I'm going to go to you, Livewire, and get your thoughts about this whole situation. Now, look, does it concern you a little bit about this game not being 30 frames per second, or being 30 frames per second, not 60? What about the situation with the multiplayer? Why is it don't have multiplayer? Give me your thoughts about the whole thing with Last of Us 2.
Well, I looked at the demo. It looks dope. What the improvements that they made in the game appeal to me, because I feel like what the game is, they added stuff that make as far as the gameplay makes that work, like with the proning and some of her faster movements and shit like that. Nice. Graphically, is it going to be? It's not as impressive as it once was, and I think a lot of people got that mixed up with the downgrade. It's not a downgrade. If you go back and really look at the original gameplay from E3 and then look at the new gameplay, it damn near looks the same. The only difference is we played Red Dead, we played Gears, we played Days Gone. Like, we play games that are graphically impressive. So now that you go back and look at that original Last of Us, it's not as impressive as it was when that was the first thing. That was the first thing that we saw that was like, oh shit, from 2 years ago. So that's the thing. There's no downgrade. But yeah, the 30 frames sucks. You know what? It's hard to say. I'll say this. Because even though it's linear, we don't quite know linear in what aspect.
I don't know. I think it's going to be kind of like God of War and what Gears 5 is and what Rise is. Kind of like semi-open world. I think that's going to be like that.
Yeah, but it might be more open than that. What I'm saying is, because even if you think about the first Last of Us, maybe not so much in the beginning, but certain aspects of it had its like when you're fighting the people it's kind of like a cul-de-sac, and there's a bunch of houses you can go into and stuff like that. And you might see more of that, whereas it gives you kind of like 2 blocks so it's still linear, but you have like a frame of like, I got about 2 blocks that I could kind of roam around and explore and look for things. So it's still linear, but a little bit more open than the previous one. So maybe that's where the sacrifice was, like to open it up a little bit more, but to keep some of the detail, high, because you also got to realize they're on weaker hardware. No matter if people want to make jokes and say, "Oh, the Pro is good at the Xbox games," and blah blah blah. At the end of the day, it's still weaker hardware. So the limitations of what they can do is different. And yes, it still runs on the regular PlayStation, but that's not where they're trying to showcase the game. They showcase it on the Pro. So, where it got to look the best is on the Pro, similar to where Gears of War has to look its best on the X and the PC. All right. If you're on the S, whatever, hey, here's what it is. Everybody can't drive a Ferrari. It's not, so, but it's unfortunate, I wish it was 60, but maybe that's the concessions they had to make. Multiplayer, I wasn't really, I haven't really dived into it. I played like maybe a match or two. I didn't care for it like that. Now, this is the only thing about the multiplayer that I think. I know a lot of PlayStation guys, they like to beat their chest about the Last of Us multiplayer and saying it's good, but this is what it says to me, the fact that they're not adding it into the game. It's really 2 or 3 things. One, it's not good enough. Meaning, like, it's just like, even though there was in the game, and yes, there's a couple people that like it, but if you think about it, Uncharted 4's multiplayer is being played by people still, and that shit is terrible, but motherfuckers still play it, you know. So it really doesn't say much to say about The Last of Us. Now I hear The Last of Us multiplayer is better than Uncharted. I couldn't even stomach the Uncharted 4 multiplayer. I just let that shit go. But you know, obviously not enough PlayStation. Even though they say people are playing it, not enough for Naughty Dog to actually, you know, add it in the game, or they feel they want to add it in the game, or because they feel they're Sony and they can do whatever the fuck they want, they might have just said, you know, why not kill two birds with two stones? So therefore, we can get the multiplayer, but we'll give it to them later, and we'll make them pay for that shit. And they will do it. They'll bitch, they'll complain, but at the end of the day, we're Sony, and they love us, and they'll buy it anyway.
Now, we're going to talk about that after we get everybody's thought process about the whole not having the multiplayer. What did you think about the game per se? Why is it not, you know, why is it not 60 frames per second per se, blah, blah, blah. I do want to get into that. So you kind of led of what we're going to go to after we get done with this, but
well, let everybody else go since I was the first.
Yeah. So we'll go ahead and so Bloody, you there? Okay. What about you, Op? I guess everybody ran off. I guess they thought that I was going to get like super messy or something.
Oh no,
I was like, man, y'all getting nervous? What's going on, man?
Okay, so which part are we tackling first?
We're talking about the whole.
They had to call their lawyers and stuff.
Yeah, they had to call lawyers and everything, man. What's going on? About the whole not having the multiplayer, the game not being 60 frames per second, as it not, you know, is that kind of troubling to you for the fact that they don't have any other modes? It's just a single player game. And overall, what do you think about the game? I'm going to Op right now since
I didn't realize that the mic was muted on the website. I thought it was just my mic.
Op, go ahead.
I can go first.
No. Go ahead, Op. Go ahead. I'm going to you.
Right, cool.
Yeah.
I'll just tackle everything at once, but there's a good portion of the hardcore PS4 fans are going to take up several L's from this. There's really no avoiding it. If 60 FPS is supposed to be the standard, why aren't y'all demanding it like y'all do with games on a platform you don't apparently care for? Like, y'all are focused on capping for the removal of multiplayer. But don't you want a smoother experience with 60 FPS or the option to have one? Isn't that what the Pro is for?
No.
Come on, let them finish.
Like, Pro is a superior console. You're supposed to have the option for 60 FPS, but that hasn't been mentioned yet at all. I don't know what's going on there. Like, so if their multiplayer is supposed to be superior to every other game in this specific genre, why is it being axed? I remember for years people claim up and down that this multiplayer is better than Gears. Me personally, never played it. I can't say it's not better or it is better. I always want to figure out why people play this as well. I've never got any reasons to, but here we are. The mode's gone for the moment, so it kind of negates that whole narrative at that point. If this mode was so great, shouldn't its greatness demand their attention to not have it cut from the game? If that's the point, why not delay it in the first place? Never had a problem before, so why get cold feet now? Like, this is supposedly a top studio, and they can't handle improving their single player and making a multiplayer at the same time. Like, I want answers to this at this point. This is really confusing. This really contradicts everything they said in the past. But with this situation of how they handle the multiplayer, it's going to be a standalone. They should decrease the price of the game. I know they won't. This is something we're talking about. They won't decrease the price of the game. It's fair at this point because you're technically getting less, but you're paying the same price at the same time. So, well, according to our track record as well, it's going to be a standalone because they did the same thing with Uncharted 4 and The Lost Legacy, and that seemingly did well for them. So I don't see them not doing the same thing with Uncharted, Last of Us. But, yeah.
Okay. All right. Now, Chris, he said this is the most ambitious game this console gen on any system, period. Do you guys believe that?
Hell no.
Somebody mute his keyboard.
Hell no, he's smoking.
I would have to say
I would have
to say the Master Chief Collection is up there, and it has way more modes than.
It's not even the most ambitious game coming out next year.
Right, like. Yeah, like I'm not like I.
Most ambitious game came out 2 years ago. Gears 4.
Cyberpunk is more ambitious than that
Come on,
game.
man,
bro.
Cyberpunk, like Grand Theft Auto 5. Come on,
Grand Theft Auto 5. Yeah,
we're not gonna get this dude no more burn this week. Maybe next week. Not this week.
Look, he started laughing. He knew. He already know. He already know.
Exactly. We're gonna stop. I'm gonna call you Mr. Hart.
People in the
chat. I got respect for your nonsense.
People in the chat, light his ass up for that one, because I mean, look.
God, he be reaching.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. That's wonderful.
He didn't even talk about the Witcher. Like, come on, man.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, there's so many other games out there.
He's bugging.
Okay, so all right, but
please let me go.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Go ahead. We'll let Bloody go last. Go ahead, Lemon. Go ahead.
What the hell?
I'm gonna tell you, out of everybody in this room, I probably beat that game more than everybody in this room. Okay.
Yes. Yes, you have.
I know the ins and outs of that game. Multiplayer from day one of that game. The multiplayer was more hardcore. It don't even compare to Gears. Two different type of genres. Two different type of games. The story mode in that game is amazing. For the time that it came out, it didn't get the praise it needed at the time that it was supposed to. Sony was not going to make another game. Multiplayer. Let's talk about it.
No, not yet. Not just talk about the 60 frames per second. Talk about the
game. Okay. Yeah. Let me correct my little homie Op. The PlayStation 4 Pro was not made for 60 frames. It was made for the VR. Let's just get that out in the open. It's not a 60 frame B system. They have a small little GDR3 upgrade added 1 gig. It's a 2K system at the most. It is not built for 60 frames. Let's not put emphasis on something that's just not factual.
So why would they? So the question is.
Hold on, let me finish.
Well, no, I'm asking you a question on top of everything that you're going to add. But so why in the world would they bring out The Last of Us 2 if he can't achieve the best that he can, and this not make it a launch title for the PlayStation 5?
Well, you know what? That is a managerial decision, executive decision. But I am going to say this: most open world games or most big games like Grand Theft Auto, Witcher, those games are 30 frame games because there's too much going on to make those games 60 on console. You know, on GTA 5 on PC, it takes a monster PC to run that game at 60 frames. A monster. So those games are generally 30 frames. I'm not gonna get on them for 30 because that's usually the target. Unlike what's this other game, man? Just Cause, which never hits 30 frames. It's like a 15 frame a second game, unless nothing's happening. But generally, with those style of games, we can't go on and say, oh, they can't beef about a 60 frame again. They don't have a bunch of 60 frame. They don't have a bunch of games running at 60 frames. And the Pro was not built for 60 frames. It was built to keep the resolution and the hertz of the VR manageable so you can get that 3D effect. That's why they made it. So it was not built like the X.
What's up, Don? What's up? What's going on with you, Don? And look, this was the thing.
And Don can allude to that.
No, he definitely will. He definitely will. I'm just going back to that point that I stated. Was back then was like let the devs do what the devs want to do with these games. They know what they're doing. So if the game is 30 frames per second,
it's for a reason.
It's for a reason. And you know what I'm saying? And if people want to achieve, because the whole point was why we can't have both modes, why we can't have 60 frames and 30, and why you know what I'm saying, where we can just have 1440p and 60 and blah blah blah. While now we have a game that seems like it's not giving you any mode. It's just telling you we're giving you a double disc game with no multiplayer, and it's going to be 30 frames per second, and you're going to like it. And I'm just wondering where's the outcry for that. That's my whole point.
But it's a bias thing when it comes to PlayStation. What PlayStation do, they kick us in the ass. It's okay. And I feel that I'm a tech dude, okay, and I know what it takes to run Witcher at 4K 60, and I got a monster PC, and I'm not running that game 4K 60 on Ultra. There's no way. And my rig was over $3,000. I can't do The Witcher at 4K 60 Ultra settings. I can't do it. It's just so, like I said, I don't really expect people to understand some of the stuff that I'm saying, but I'm not going to complain about that because I know what it takes to get to that. And when people complain, K-Mega, some people always complaining outside their budget. They driving Pintos, but they act like they're in a Bentley. It just is what it is. If you want Bentley performance, you're gonna have to spend Bentley money.
So basically, what you're telling me is that just like we've accepted every other game that's been, a big title that we played 30 frames per second, and I've said that I enjoy those games and there's nothing wrong with them, they're gonna have to do that too, right?
They're gonna have to do it next gen too. You think everything gonna be 4K 60?
No.
No. But people believe that. I don't want curse. People believe that stuff. That they think because next gen, you're getting more powerful systems. But when you get more powerful systems, you do more powerful things. You add more special effects, which is gonna take away from that frame rate. Mm-hmm. No matter how much, it's like we see Halo running, got a patch 4K 60. Gears 4, 4K 60, Gears 5, 4K 60, Ultra settings, Forza. But do you see everything coming out on Xbox One X matching those games' graphic quality from these other devs? Hell no. They don't have that capability. Right. Only the big boys. So we have to look at things in perspective. Don't think we're going to buy these next consoles and you're not going to see a 30 frame a second game.
I think it's going to be a whole bunch of 30 frame per second games until the devs actually get within the hardware, and then probably by the time that they might have a mid-gen refresh or something, then maybe all the games will be 60 frames per second. But by that,
right. But it's just a misconception.
But that's my whole point about that. That's my whole point about that. That's why so many people has been quiet about it and don't talk about it, is because they've taken the stance of what K-Mega said so many years ago. Back then, was that, look, it's okay. Like, I mean, let the devs work. We're not devs. We don't know how that game is going to perform. We don't know how that's going to happen. Like I said, I talked to 2 different devs about that situation back then, and they both told me the same fucking thing. You know what I'm saying? It's basically like, look, it's kind of like what you alluded to, is that there's different types of things that's taken in, taken out. You can balance so much of what's going on with what the device has for you to do. So it doesn't matter. It's okay.
And another thing, me and Bloody was talking about something when we were streaming today, and he brought up a point, and he was talking about people saying, "Oh, they got money, they should do this." I said, "Hold on, because Microsoft is throwing them out money, that don't make these developers get better with their techniques." Better with their graphics. They just got more money to work with.
I mean, case in point, limit NBA 2K online.
Terrible.
Look how much money they make, and that shit ain't better.
So, and the game still runs like dog crap online.
Yeah, the game runs absolutely immaculate when you're just playing it, or you know what I'm saying, or playing it, in the house with a homie or something. But no, when you playing that shit online, no, it's still trash.
Got the cream of the crop developers who got excellent net code, who got excellent graphics. See, Naughty Dog, these dudes are cream of the crop. Insomniac, these dudes are cream of the crop.
Santa Monica, that's another question for me before I go to. But that's another question. I'm going to ask Bloody this too, or if anybody else wants to jump in on this.
Well, before we go on too far, I want to refute Levin's previous point. You are right. It is made for VR. We all know that. However, also advertised as a more powerful console. With that being said, there are games on Pro do run at 60 FPS. There is that option. What I'm alluding to earlier is, why is it their top studio, particularly their number 1 studio, not seemingly allowing that option for their game at this point in time?
Because they're trying to hit a higher resolution. Once they go into a higher resolution, that 60 frames go out the window.
True.
Let me go ahead and give hold on, guys. Let me give a shout out to Mir XT8. What's up with you? He's like, for the he says, love GRG, thumbs up, man. Thank you so much, man. We love you too, man. We love all our listeners, our supporters. Man,
Even
without
our
you guys,
haters,
we
I
couldn't
love
do
you
it.
haters.
I mean,
I love the haters.
of course, you gotta love the
That
haters.
give me fuel for the fire.
I can't wait. Yeah, that
Not
just makes
Chris
me
Paul, you're not a hater.
that makes me ready to start making my notes for GRG the next week. You know what I'm saying? Like, hell yeah. K-Mega, you're a fraud, and all the people on your fans are just X, whatever they call us, X, you know, just think of whatever, you know.
But no, but I'm just
word
saying, I'm
goes with
just
it.
bringing it from a different perspective for the PlayStation side, because a lot of people give the PlayStation 4 Pro a lot of slack, and it was made for VR.
Well, okay, yeah, but I mean, but again, but then you got to, on the flip side though, Lemon, is that like it's the Pro is insignificant. Then it was a
2K system.
It was a money grab system. I understand what it was for VR, but I mean, but for people that was thinking that they were going to have something that was comparable to the X, just a little bit, we coming to find out that it's not even close.
No, it's not even in the race.
And so those people that got the Pro got hustled. That was the one thing why I never got one. It's because I'm like, look, if this thing is not even going to be comparable to the X, why would I pay $400 for this thing when I already got when I got the Slim, and that'll just do me fine until the PlayStation 5 comes out.
One game that brought that to my attention, I do have the VR, but the one game that brought that to my attention that maybe I got beat for the Pro, when I played God of War. It really doesn't look different than a base model.
And that's a damn shame. And that's a damn shame.
That game is gorgeous on both consoles.
Yeah, no,
like,
the game looks great. The game looks great, but
and the base model.
Okay, but just think about this though. Let's say God of War, and I'm gonna make Chris and this other dude in here, you know what I'm saying, make the brains explode. But just think if God of War was on the X. Like that's what I'm talking about. Like when you play on the X, that's like you don't ever want to go back to anything.
Can I name a game that I said that too?
What?
I played Call of Duty on Modern Warfare on the Pro. I saw that game. Dudes was like, I didn't even mention it. Dudes in the comments was like, oh, this game looks washed out. Dudes was blaming people. TV, it's your TV. It's this, it's that. I'm like, well, my TV cost $5,000 and it looked washed out on mine too. And then a week later, it came out on X. And I said, my God, this looks different. At that point, I was like, maybe it wasn't Homeboy's TV after all. Because that Call of Duty is destroying the Pro version.
Or no?
Yeah, you are. My bad.
I know, right? Go on forever.
Go ahead, buddy.
Go ahead, buddy. Go ahead. Now you see how we all feel when you go along.
Y'all keep saying I'm gonna go to Bloody, and then
it goes long verbally because he comes up short other places.
It's the one time I'm trying to be good.
Okay, go ahead, Bloody.
Go ahead, Bloody. Go ahead.
And remember, don't talk so much about the multiplayer. We'll get into that after you get done.
So, what do you want me to focus on then?
Oh, you forgot? Okay. All right.
No, you said not the multiplayer, so do you want me to focus on the 60 FPS there?
The 60-50, yeah, and the lack of, the lack of no multiplayer, but, you know what I'm saying, but don't go too far into the multiplayer, because that's what we're going to talk about. Yeah, save that part. But what is your thoughts about them not having the multiplayer in there, and the frames per second, and just what's your overall thoughts about the game itself, or what you've seen in the trailer? Because I don't think none of us has really said the game looks beautiful.
The fact of that they don't even have multiplayer after touting, after having it the first time around and it being as good for some people as it was, and everyone's been hyping up the fact that it's been they've been going back and forth on if they're gonna have multiplayer or not, and that's the sad part about it, right? That they've been saying, oh, we're gonna have multiplayer, we're gonna have multiplayer, we're gonna have multiplayer, and then it's like, well, we're not gonna have multiplayer, or hey, we might have multiplayer shortly after. And now the fact that they're just saying, like, we're not gonna have multiplayer at all, and we're gonna focus specifically on the single player. Okay, well, if y'all were able to do it before, what's suddenly so big about it now? They're saying, oh, we're gonna have an overly ambitious single player. What the fuck did Gears do? What the fuck is every other multiplayer or game that's coming out doing that's still gonna do it? Even Cyberpunk has confirmed they're gonna do a multiplayer, and they're like, yeah, it may not be out at launch, but we're gonna have it still. They did the same thing with Red Dead Online. They did the same thing with GTA 5, and those were ambitious single player games before they released their multiplayer. And now they came out and say, oh well, We're gonna talk about it at a later time and revisit it in another way. It's like, dude, really? Come on now.
Can't
And
wait to be
because of that, it's just kind of ridiculous that that's how they're trying to treating it in aspect. Now, the fact of that it can't even hit 60 FPS, that's pathetic. They're talking and toting how 60 FPS is the way to go. That 60 FPS is all anyone wants. 1080 60 FPS, 1080 60 FPS, fuck 4K, give me 1080 60 FPS. And they can't even do that. It's like, what the fuck are y'all planning on doing? Because it just goes to kind of show that it's all a narrative stuff. It's all narrative based. It's all, whatever fits their agenda and things. And the fact that they can't even keep it consistent enough. They literally it shows the keep moving of the goalpost kind of stuff. And it's kind of really pathetic that it keeps happening in this way. But, if the single player can hold up, sure, whatever, no 60 FPS. It's so pathetic that their machine can't do that, let alone 1080 60 FPS. When all Xbox got ripped apart for as them pushing 4K, and it's like, yo, y'all gotta focus on 60 FPS. Now we got both, with quite a few of the first party games and some of the third party games. Kind of what we saw with Assassin's Creed and what we saw with a couple other games. And now what's going into next gen, that's their whole focus. What's Sony doing? If their studios can't even hit that on utilizing their own hardware that they should know and be able to push that to the greatest extent, and they can't even do something like that, what do you expect for the future? Nice. That's just my points. Like Lemon said, giving more money doesn't do anything. Well, me and him, when we had this discussion during our stream, is the fact of, I said, the studios that are getting this money from Microsoft deserve this extra money, and they're going to be able to do a lot more. And he did bring up a good point that more money doesn't mean anything. But when I brought that up, I said, because the fact that the studios that are getting it are talented studios who have a lot more to be able to do it because they've proven they have talent. That's the reason that Microsoft went after these studios, is that they go after talented studios, or they cultivate studios, help them grow their talent before they buy it. That's what we saw with Playground Games. Playground Games has repeatedly shown their talent every time with what they did with the Forza Horizon series before they officially got picked up, and are now doing Forza Horizon 5 and then whatever new project that they have currently, which is to be rumored as Fable, stuff like that. They've proven it, just like Undead Labs proved themselves, and Compulsion, like them or not, with what they did with We Happy Few. I really like the game. Opera likes the game. They prove that they have talent.
I buy it too.
And it's grown over time.
I didn't like
that. That's what
game.
they do. They help cultivate talent, or they find talent that's already been established. Why do you think they went after a studio like Double Fine? Double Fine has been one of the biggest independent talents out there, and a lot of the games that they made are always really fun and well executed, whether they're really big sellers or not. Look at what they did with Brutal Legend, what they did with Rock of Ages, what they did with Stacking, what they've done with Costume Quest, and every game that they've touched and stuff like that. It's always been different. Even with Psychonauts, they know how to properly fund the right talent. And you would think that a talent like Naughty Dog, which has unfortunately changed multiple regimes from their talent that was there back in the days of Crash Bandicoot, Jack and Daxter, and the early times, to what they have now, they're not able to kind of keep pushing that being able to work on multiple aspects for one game. And even with the Coalition, as talented as the Coalition is, look at what they had to do for multiplayer. They had to have a small team help Splash Damage do the multiplayer, but it was still talent from within Coalition helping and overwatching Splash Damage. It was still very much their hands in on that. And then they had another studio or another team that was dedicated to working on Horde mode, and what they did with
they got like 500 goddamn employees.
Yeah. But let me ask. Okay, but let me ask you a question though, because there was something that was brought up in the chat, Bloody. Okay, so there was Chris, of course. He said, and I want to know what you think about it, and if anybody want to jump on after Bloody is done, that's fine. But he was like, look, Gears didn't have the detail of sandbags getting shot up and you seen the dust come from the sandbags. Is it one of those things to where maybe Sony is going for too much detail because of the, to make those things look realistic, but take away the 60 frames per second. Could that be a possible? Hold on, no, I said bloody. Go ahead, bloody.
No, because the fact that some of that existed within Gears 3, just not on the level that we're seeing now, and then Gears 4 stepped that up, and in Gears 5 you have completely destroyable cover and environment for the most part. I was like, they did not sacrifice any of that aspect for the sheer fact of not being able to achieve 60 FPS. They were able to do both. So the fact that there's more detail going into it shouldn't be the reason you sacrifice frame rates. If you can't hit those frame rates, then you need to sacrifice the detail for the frame rates if that's what you're going for. But if you can do both, then do both. Don't sacrifice frame rates, which is what keeps the stability and image that everyone's going to be able to see and clearly running over detail. I was like, because if you have less frames to really utilize and be able to see that detail, what's the point of all those extra details if whenever there's any sort of hiccups or slowdowns, that's going to even slow the frames significantly worse. So those details become kind of meaningless.
Can I jump in?
Go ahead.
First of all, let me give you another technical feat, Mr. Hart. Gears of War 4 had the most advanced special effects turned on in any game.
4 or 5.
4.
Okay.
In this generation, this came from the words of the Unreal Tournament makers. What's their name? The ones that made Unreal Engine. No. The one that made the Epic. They said they've never seen that. They never known that the Unreal Engine can have that many special effects turned on any game. Do you know the other game that had that many special effects that couldn't even be pushed by PCs? It was called Crysis. And until Crysis 3, Gears of War 4 has dethroned that game as the most special effects in any game to date, and Gears 5 just crushed it. So what you're saying don't even make sense.
Yeah.
Shooting sandbags, special effects. If you just look at that strong scene in Gears 4, name one game that had that effect. One game. Not walking through bushes. Because the game that walks through bushes that looks the best is called Tomb Raider.
Yeah.
Or Tomb
Raider was 30 frames per second though. So.
Right, but right. Another thing. But what I'm saying is, if you want to talk about special effects in the game that couldn't be surpassed was Crysis 3. It started with 1. Crysis 3 still, even today, is still benchmarked on current graphic cards and CPUs and RAM at Digital Foundry because it is of graphics. Now you have Gears 5 destroying that. Yeah. That's what I'm talking about.
Well, that's the thing that was just tripping me out. Like, I mean, yeah, you can walk through vegetation in Uncharted 4, and it looks cool. And yeah, when you walk through some weeds in Gears 5, it's lifeless. There's really no movement there. But that game plays so good. That game is solid. That game plays like it's.
I love Uncharted. But it's linear.
Like, come on, man. Look, nothing to take away from the Docker engine. The Docker engine is a beast, right? Like PlayStation got a beast. Like, I can't wait to see what PlayStation's going to do with the Docker engine going with the 5. But again, let's look at the big elephant in the room, man, and that is the fact that there were gamers that stressed that they wanted 60 frames per second, and though somebody in the chat was saying, "Oh, it's a stealth game," if you still got you doing stealth and them damn 30 frames drop to 10, you're gonna be doing the hammer dance trying to kill a motherfucker. Let's not play games here. Let's not do that. You know what I'm saying? So if you really so if it's really not that big of a deal to you, then you shouldn't stress it. Just like I said in the beginning, way back then, let the developers do what they want to do. I just was feeling that it was really crazy to me that nobody really talked about it or stressed on it when they stressed about it before, wanting those 2 play modes. Now, once they rebranded on the PlayStation 5 and then it'll have the 60 frames per second. Then I guarantee you, okay, Mega, look at this. Nah, bitch, that's not how this works. We're talking about right here, right now. They should have waited, just like I thought they should have. What I thought was that was really smart. When you go, and I said this on GRG, I said this on Next Podcast. I said that, and I said this beforehand, me just doing videos, that they were going to bundle Halo in with the new Xbox because they want to kind of restart everything. All right, Bloody, holla at you, man. You want to do your shout outs before you go?
Yeah, so if anyone wants to follow me, I was like, I got to dip out real early, but if they want to follow me, they can find me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and over on Mixer.com and YouTube.com, all at Bloody Nux, BLOODIE_KNUX. They can find me streaming 5 times a week, and of course, they can find me every Saturday doing the Smash podcast with Op and the rest of the Smash crew, 7:30 p.m. Central Time on Saturday nights, and they can also catch me here with you guys every Friday at 8:30 Central. I was like, other than that, just follow me around whenever I'm doing stuff, guys.
All right, cool, man.
Bloody,
everybody says peace to Bloody, man. All right. Look, we're gonna get out of here, man. We're gonna get out of here on time tonight. Look at this shit.
I don't want to be on time. Can't wait to get to that multiplayer stuff.
Oh no, we're gonna go right into it. But I just wanted to finish that point.
Before we go too far, Shadow Tomb Raider did have 2 modes. There's frame rate and there was resolution.
Which
I remember that. I believe was Shadow Tomb Raider.
On what?
Shadow Tomb Raider.
Oh yeah, that's right. Shadow. You're damn right, man. It's shit. That's right. It did. I play, and you know what I played.
Tomb Raider had 3 modes.
And you know what I played. What mode I played? I played the what's called mode. The
resolution.
No, the 30 frames per second mode. And I because that game looked too goddamn good. Like I'm like, I don't want to sacrifice nothing of how good this game looks. I don't care if this game moves; it still moves good to me. You know what I'm saying? I still like it. Tomb Raider. I forgot Tomb Raider did have a 60 and a 30. And you know what? And it was a 60 and a 30 mode on the Pro. So I don't want to hear that excuse, bruh. I really don't. PlayStation to me should have sit there and put that game on fucking the PS5 like I thought that they should to combat against Halo.
That game cannot compete against the King.
No, I mean it won't. It won't. I don't care how many PlayStation fans or the Last of Us fans want to talk about it. It's not comparable to Halo, bro. It's just not.
Financially.
That's just a fact. It will do well. It will sell like gangbusters, but it still will not outdo. It will still not outclass. It'll still not outperform Halo. Just one.
5 God of Wars right now? It's still not $1 billion franchise. Microsoft.
This one might.
Halo sells $1 billion each game. That's not even competition.
Yeah, but let's get into the multiplayer aspect of it. Okay, so now I've also said this as well. I said, and I asked a question on Twitter because I found it odd. Like I'm like, why would you not implement that mode when there's so many people that's talked about that mode? They've been talking about that damn multiplayer mode for The Last of Us for years. Like it's got a cult following. Why would you take it out? So I said the only reason why I could see Sony taking it out is that they could bring it back later and they could charge you for it. Mm-hmm. Some way, shape, or form. So I asked the question on Twitter, would you be okay if The Last of Us came with their multiplayer and they charged you for it as part of DLC or etc.? And to my surprise, there was a lot of PlayStation fans that said, hell no. Porter Rock was like, no, that's not cool. Hell, even J-Dub was like, no, I can't rock that. That's bullshit if they do something like that. So,
and lo and behold,
when everybody was over here bitching, they made petition. They was like, we need this. Naughty Dog came out and they said, look, guys, we're being really ambitious with this game, and we just want you to focus on the story mode, right? But we do pretty much. But for the most part, they really want to they want people to get into the story mode, but they have plans for some kind of multiplayer aspect coming down the road. Now, I seen Jez and them say, hey, they're going to do a battle royale or whatever the case may be. How do you guys feel about that? Let's just put it like this, like, because I don't think everybody's played the multiplayer on The Last of Us. But let me ask this, and the people that's listening tonight, what if this was Halo or Gears or Forza, any of the big three? And they decided, you know what? We're just going to let you have the single player mode. We're being very ambitious with this. This is going to be the biggest and the best single player that Halo, Gears, and Forza's ever had. And then they come after everybody bitches and complain and the tiki torches come out and motherfuckers are ready to kill. Then any of these companies will come out and they say, hey, pump your brakes, guys. It's okay. We're going to bring you that multiplayer. And then they bring that multiplayer as maybe DLC, maybe even a free-to-play. But if you know if it's a free mode, you know what you're going to get hit over the head for. You know it. You know you're going to get hit over the head with microtransactions. They ain't going to put no big-ass effort into no multiplayer if it's going to be free unless they find a way to take money out your ass for it. So I'm asking you guys this question, and I'm going to go straight to you, Op. Do you think that this is reasonable from Naughty Dog and from Sony to even implement this instead of putting this in the game and making this a full-fledged game like it was when it first came out?
No, absolutely not. Like I stated earlier, they're going to go the standalone route, have it separate from the game like they said they are. It should be discounted. The base game should be like, you can't charge $60 for a game. You're giving the consumer less at this point. That's literally a ripoff at this point. But if they want to have the story in the multiplayer, story should be 40. Multiplayer should be 20.
Whoa! Say that again. Whoa! Come on now. You know when I got to let you repeat that because come on, say that again. Say that again to me. Say that again.
You want to split it up mathematically. Story should be $40, and the multiplayer should be 20. That way, it'll mathematically make sense. They separate at this point. So if you're going to charge them 60, they also pay 60 one time for the entire thing, not pay over that to get experience they got in the first game. That's bullshit at this point. Like Blaze said before, this is pathetic. It's their top studio, or maybe one of their top studios, who can't handle single player and multiplayer. They have to cut one out from development. Had how many years to make this game? Look at Coalition right now. They are the most efficient studio out there right now. 2.5 years. Revamped, invigorated, bolstered their campaign, overhauled their multiplayer and improved it. It gave us a new mode. It gave us a map builder for the other 3 modes as well. 2.5 years. Now I can't do even half of that. More time. This is just pathetic at this point. It's that you can't defend it. They won't go ahead and charge you later on for that mode. Like, it's gonna be nightmare. You don't have microtransactions. The first game did. Why would this one not have that at the same time? Especially if they're going to charge less than 60 for it. Either way you split it, cut it, however you want to do it, it's going to be ugly for them going forward. If they go the free play route, Jess suggested, I don't know why he even said that. I hope he was joking at that point. I'm going to assume he was joking. If they go that route, it's going to be a nightmare. Like, you cannot defend at that point. At that point, you'll have to be consistent. They've been attacking games as a service for years now. The teeth, all the passion, divinity. But for the biggest studio to go that route, can't back off it. They can't be quiet. It's gonna be too big. It's gonna be too high at that point. They have to say something at that point. If they go that route. But yeah, man, this whole situation, it's sad. It's been a PR nightmare. Like, they tried to ride down with Spider-Man today, but that's not gonna work.
Yeah,
I'll work for a long shot.
You know what? That did just kind of come out of nowhere. I thought that was funny. I thought that funny.
Well, yeah, that Spider-Man thing was in reaction to the whole Star Wars thing, because they was like, "Oh shit, we about to lose our ground with this negotiation. You about to take over Star Wars? Hey, Feige, you can do Spider-Man. We sorry."
Yeah, like there's a lot going on right now, and listen, I mean, I'm looking at this like, and you're right, Mr. Kima. It's Sony's decision, not Naughty Dog. But who you think that the gamers are going to go after? That's the thing. That's I mean, let's just be realistic. Let's be realistic. They're not going to go after Sony. They're going to go after Naughty Dog. They're not. Look, I'm going to say it.
You know what?
I'm going to say it, and I don't care. And I don't care how they care about it. Hashtag fanboy thoughts. That's what those Sony fanboys are to me. They're thoughts. Them dudes and chicks are insane. They don't, like I said, they don't open their mouth about nothing, and they mostly talk about negative shit about Xbox and Nintendo. And if they feel threatened by any game, they'll sit there and they'll tell you most of the time. They'll talk about sales numbers and how many console numbers. Their thoughts. I swear, it's ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? Look, I can't look. We're all objective about Xbox and all of that stuff, right? We've been, even though we're Xbox gamers. You know what I'm saying? We're all gamers. I mean, we own everything pretty much. You know what I'm saying? I still don't have a Switch. I got to get a Switch. But
I own everything, even
you know what I'm
the
saying?
party
Live
chat.
owns everything. You know what I'm saying? Oh, you know what I'm saying? Op owns something. I don't know what Op owns, but you know what I'm saying? But that's the thing. That's the thing to me is just like, look, I mean, it's okay to be objective. I was actually surprised of how many PlayStation fans were really objective about this. I was actually pleased because for me, I looked at it from a standpoint of Halo, Gears of Forza, or any game that has a single player and a multiplayer aspect to it. How would I feel if they took it out? That's why I didn't buy Call of Duty. I wouldn't buy Halo if they wanted to try to move that shit like that. And I love Halo. Like, I would be like, no, you got to take a stand for something. But of course, those thoughts, those fanboy thoughts, no, it's okay. You can give me my 30 frames per second as long as the game looks pretty. The game could, you know what I'm saying? The game could look pretty and it can only be 25 fucking hours long. And it could have a bunch of shit to make it to be where it's 45, 50 hours long. And I'm good for that for a good 60 or for a $250, special edition. You know what I'm saying? I'm cool with that. Because I'm a thought. That's what I am. I'll shake my ass for Sony any day of the week. That's ridiculous to me. Go ahead, Livewire. Give me your thoughts. After that, I'm pretty sure you're gonna be just as messy. So, what do you think about the whole multiplayer situation, man? What is this? Do you find this strange? Do you think this is a good strategy? What the hell is going on with this?
Livewire, your mic muted.
Oh, he's not muted.
Oh, there he is.
Sound like he's pulling corns out his feet.
Technical difficulty on my end. Y'all talk, because I gotta switch headsets. My headset went dead, so I gotta switch this old one in here. It's gonna be snot, crackle, and pop. Hold on.
Where's Livewire?
Yeah,
He asked you a question, Live.
No, he muted his mic. He's gone for now.
What happened?
There you go. There you go.
Oh, my bad. What up?
He asked you a question about this multiplayer situation.
Oh, my bad. I had just got up.
From what, the floor?
Nah, man, I had to get something to drink. I was thirsty, man. So what's you saying? Do I think that they're gonna
What do you think about the multiplayer being added later? And do you think it's acceptable and all that? There you go.
Yeah. This is the thing. I feel for PlayStation, it'll be acceptable for them. They don't get hit with the same shit as like Xbox does, and Nintendo either. To be honest, I mean, yeah, but I guess it's because you definitely have a civil war within that whole those camps, because even though The Last of Us is a big narrative-driven game, right, it does have that small group that really just like, like you could
There we go. Kind of like Street Fighter 5, yeah. Whoa. Okay. Hold on, live. I don't think anybody can get any sound from us. Yeah, I don't know. When I plugged in my. Hold on, let me do this. Okay, did you just check? Yeah, go ahead. Keep talking. Can you hear us? Okay. No, I'm talking about people in the chat. Can y'all hear us? Okay, cool. My bad. All right, yeah, because the thing just went dead on my thing. I'm like, oh, I don't even see the sound from you guys. That's crazy. I know that bastard chewing. I thought I killed that bastard. Yeah, see, I can see it right here. Yeah, like I can't see the meter moving to where you guys could talk. So that's the thing right there. I don't know what. When I plug this in, it just. Hold on, let me see if I can do this to see. Hold on. All right, hold on. Is that working? No. Let's see. Damn it. Okay, hold on. I did not know my other mic was my other headset. But then why would my headset cause that? I don't know. See. Yeah, it seemed like that's what happened. Okay, hold on. Let me see if I could do this and see if this works. Oh. All right, go ahead and see if y'all can talk. Because I can't. I don't know. Uh-oh. Damn it. Hold on, let me go back here and let me see if I can do this and see if I can do. Hold on. Hold on. All right. Let me see. Is that work? No, that ain't working. Hold on. I gotta scroll through all this shit to see if this shit will work. If not, then got to wrap it up. There we go. We got it. Okay, go ahead.
Okay. Go ahead. All right, y'all can hear me now. Yes. All right. Cool. So anyway, like I said, the multiplayer, they're not gonna get flack for it. Xbox they just held to a different standard. They got to basically be perfect. Xbox do that shit, they will about to get their ass kicked and stomped in. You can't be
keep talking. I got to figure something out because
No, we good. We good. We hear it. We hear it. They hear it. They hear it. They hear it.
Yeah. So, I mean, shit, they coming out with Death Stranding, which is a literal pissing simulator. You know, and the guy just think about it. Like a lot of the shit that has happened in the last couple of weeks, Xbox would never get away with that shit.
Never.
Because think about it. Kojima, mind you, Kojima could have made the same game, done the same shit, come out showing the baby and all that shit, and then the whole pissing and the mushrooms. And you know what the narrative would have been? Why did Microsoft make Kojima make this game like this? This is ridiculous. I'm telling you, like this shit's crazy, bro.
Nah, it would be worse. They'll be like, "Why did you allow him to make a game like this?" They're gonna flip it that way.
Well, yeah, allow him, yeah. I don't know.
Who's ready to rumble gameplay is this? This is classic.
Oh, I don't know. It's probably Kingmakers.
That was my game.
It's likely Makers.
Did you go already, Op?
Yeah, go ahead, Op.
Yeah, I already went. Going before live.
So it's only 4 of us in here. So it's my go.
Yep, it's 100.
Okay. Let me tell y'all something, man. Last of Us is my game. The multiplayer version of the game was my game. I played it hardcore. But let's just keep it real here. The PlayStation community didn't support the multiplayer aspect of this game. For them to even complain that it doesn't have a multiplayer baffles me. At the peak of the game, they was having 5,000 people a month on the servers. A month after the game dropped, it was 1,000 people per month supporting this game multiplayer. Now, for me, the multiplayer for me was very strategic. You had to craft while playing your bombs and the cover system. It was fun as hell. But when I went into the servers, you saw me playing. We're talking about a game that roughly sold 2 or 3 million at the time. The community didn't support the multiplayer. So when the game doesn't have the multiplayer this time around, or they're not focused on it, that's why they're not focused on it, because people didn't play it. Let's go to Uncharted. They dropped multiplayer in Uncharted 2 for the first time. People didn't support it. Uncharted 3 and 4 had multiplayer. 3 was better. 4 was definitely on point. How many people support that game multiplayer? So why would the devs say, yo, we need to do more multiplayer when you're not playing it? Sony
They did say that though.
No. They did, but they probably said to themselves, like, wait a minute, why are we even doing this? It's a waste of money. Because
I'm sure they said that too.
Right, because people don't support Last of Us multiplayer. I'm a Last of Us fan. I love the game. I love the interaction with the characters. I thought the story was deep. Yes, at times, when the game came out, at times, like Horizon Zero Dawn, the PlayStation community said Horizon Zero Dawn gameplay got boring. Same thing with Last of Us, because it's story-driven. It's not an action-orientated game like a God of War.
Hey, man, we're
with
going to
a
have
story.
to wrap
You
this
understand
up,
what I'm saying?
Because I can't hear anybody.
When you have that base,
hey, Lemon,
and
you hear
people
me?
are saying, all right,
oh, shit.
we're not buying this for multiplayer. That's why I emphasized we're gonna.
Hey, we're gonna have to wrap this up because I can't hear you. And if I switch the mic over, then I can't. Then people can't hear you. So and this other mic that I've been had it hooked up to is completely dead. So I thought that I could just switch over.
Can I finish my point?
Working. So
I finish my
we're just
point
gonna have
before
to
you
wrap
go?
it up, man. I don't know what you're saying, but we're gonna have to
Wait,
do it because
can you hear us?
because I can't even hear what you guys are saying. So, man, sorry about we didn't finish because we was gonna talk about Inside Xbox and about the state of play, but
Hey, Mega got some
technical difficulties. I should have charged my damn headset. I didn't know that I didn't know that there were because I rarely use them except for when I do the podcast. So, but it needed to be charged up. I should have done it. So, anyway, man, I'm gonna have these guys do sign outs. I've just got to watch and see when y'all don't say anything else. So I'm gonna start off with you, Livewire. Where can they find you at, man?
Find me at Livewire Gaming. Check out my channel. I've been putting up gameplay recently. Have some commentary along with some code streams up there, man. So check it out.
All right, cool. This is crazy. All right, where can they find you at? Operations. Where can they find you at? What's your all that?
Okay, Megan.
Of course, my handle Operation Pop. You can find me every Saturday. Smash Podcast as well. Of course, on here every Friday. GRG. It was a good night. It was good talking with y'all. It was a crazy night, but hope you have a good night.
All right, cool. I'm just looking at the thing and seeing when the pulse goes down, and I'm assuming that you're quiet. So, all right, man. 108 Dragons, where can they find you at, bro?
Yo, you can find me at 108 Dragons TV on everything, man. Tune in Sunday, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 3 p.m. Central Standard Time. Me and Bloody Knuckles will continue the Gears 5 co-op situation. We listen, man, we had a ball today. Everybody that stopped by, everybody that stopped by in the chat, everybody that stopped by to watch GRG, it is greatly appreciated. Go to my channel. I got great information, man. Please support me. I'm working my way to 1,000. I'm giving away 4K movies. Next movie is supposed to be John Wick 3. All you got to do is subscribe and tell me why you want that movie in your life, and you will be entered into the contest to win that 4K movie. God bless and good night to everybody that stopped through. Six Slayer, you know you my boy. I got you. Shout out to my man, Child of God, a.k.a. Thomas Franks, the Dawn. Bot, you already know how we do. Peace.
All right, cool. Man, appreciate you guys listening. Sorry that we had to cut it off, man. I was wanting to get to that last topic, but hey, I mean, we're getting off on time, so that's a plus. So on top of all that, man, thank you guys for hanging out with us, and great discussion tonight, man. I definitely want to talk a little bit more about that. I might do a video. I haven't done one in so long, so I might do a video, maybe see if a couple of guys might want to come with me so we can do a live little talk about it for a little bit, because I think that it's just something to talk about. Is it overly concerning? I don't know. It's who you talk to, but I don't know, man. It's crazy. But I do thank everybody for checking us out, listening to us tonight. As always, man, go and subscribe to everybody on the panel. Go show support. Check me out on Mixer. Check me on the next podcast tomorrow evening. And go check out the ladies of GWG, man. Go do all that. Man, big shout out to everybody. Thank you. And as always, man, if you don't have to go to work tomorrow, and if you aren't gaming, then there need to be only one other thing that you need to be doing. That's that pants off, dance off. No doubt about it, baby. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us. Have a good one. Peace.